Earlier you mentioned removing exit signs.
Yes.
And this is where I feel like that might come up again potentially when I ask you this question. But what does the future of AI in photography look like to you?
Yeah, so I'm probably a little bit unpopular. I tend to be I started out as a very like early adopter, right? Like, so when I'll use the Nikon. I'm a Nikon shooter. I have been for a long time. And so when the Nikon D4 came out, I bought a D4 or D4S, one of the two, D4S, I think. I bought it the day it came out. And I learned that when you buy it the day that it comes out, it means that Lightroom does not support it, and you like should not shoot weddings on that thing, or that you're going to have some problems, right? Talk about that like 6-week window where you can get yourself in trouble. Like that's a very good way to land in there early. And so early adopting, when it came to AI, it's something that I came in with a very skeptical approach, because as an artist and as a photographer, I know that I shoot 5,000 to 10,000 images on a wedding day. I deliver 600 to 800. If I know what my ratio is, and I know that sometimes I will see 4 images that are almost the same, but I know that the flower girl's face or the bride's face in one photo, that smile is just better than the other ones, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, AI can't do that for me or whatever. And like, I get kind of like, I can't trust it to cull for me or whatever. Like, and I still kind of stand in that camp for a little bit. But when it comes to the future of AI, and like I think the AI around photography, I think there's so much of an opportunity. Like editing, like I do the same thing for every wedding and every event that I shoot. Every single image that I've basically delivered in the last, I don't even know now, couple years has the same tone curve, the same basic, it's a high contrast, clean look. Like that's what I'm going for. And doing that across these images, like oftentimes it's harder for me to get that right than it would be for AI to get that right. Yeah. And so I think that like just streamlining that stuff is really the foundation. But I look at like the export problem, the things that I have. Like if I tag something for a blog, or I tag something for my portfolio, or I tag something for different contests or publications. Like I think about like integrations, like I know something's going to be album designed in Fundy. I know I love Fundy's album builder, right? So like I think about like tagging a photo there and then having it auto move into the next step, right? And you've got ways to make that happen already. Like I've played around with Photoshop droplets where like you can connect an export plugin to Photoshop and then it'll resize it and sharpen it and then save it in a different folder. And you can do like all this stuff and with photo, but like it's cumbersome and it's not necessarily like, yeah, I want to do this all the time. And the setup process, like we're going to talk about a setup process that's awful. Try to connect a Lightroom export to a Photoshop droplet to like an auto upload sequence. It's not 0 stars. I do not recommend. Yep. But I think there's a lot of opportunity to think about where photos are coming from, how they're headed. Even just like when I connect a memory card, knowing that it's a memory card and this is where those photos go and here's how they get organized and all that stuff. There's just immense opportunity there.